Good evening, guys. A little different for a Friday night. Let's play some Chicken Police Paint It Red. New game. Start a new game.
I ran out to get a pack of cigarettes, but I left my wallet at home. Yeah, that's me. I'm getting old. My name is Sonny Featherland, an investigator for 20 years, and once the star of the predatory division of the Clawville Police Department, one half of the legendary Chicken Police. But buying a pack of smokes is more than I can handle right now. Maybe I should just lay low. Yeah, I'll do that. The most colorful place in the wilderness. For all the gods, what bullshit. The last CLUCK in color left this city years ago. And slowly I'll turn gray too. Still, what do I expect? We're living in a vast experiment, and don't even notice that everything got clucked up a long time ago. We believe in this wonderland of peaceful coexistence. Wolves and sheep, chickens and hounds. Yeah, sure, why not? It's just ridiculous. The dog eats the chicken. It's in our nature. I'm not propping up the illusion anymore. 121 days, and it's over. Retirement. What could possibly go wrong? Ah, crap. My office lock is a piece of shit if a dame can pick it. She stood in the darkness. The light painted stripes on her body. It whispered secret little things that were never there in the first place. But she was no zebra. Reality was just a light switch away. Elizabeth or Charlotte? I was sure she'd have a sophisticated-sounding name. She had a bygone look in her eyes. Older than this ancient building, and perhaps the whole city itself. Or maybe I'm just drunk. But she was the first womanly thing in my place for a long time, so I had to give her a chance.
Wow. This looks and feels really cool actually being here playing it with the black and white and the music and the sound effects. Stupid smile on my face. Right, okay, L is navigate. To move around. R is move camera, which we can only do from left to right. Interaction is X, and people. Oh cool, like a codex manual. Nice. R2 is next category, L1 previous page, Hotel Atlas select. This used to be a nice place. Now we're competing who gets swallowed by decay first. The hotel's winning, but honestly, I'm not that far behind. Ooh. Stats. Questioning points out of 80. Scenes visited 32. Oh, I don't want to see that yet. The Chicken Police. The Chicken Police is a famous detective duo. Santino, Sonny Featherland, and Marty McChicken gained fame for a case the press called the Bloody New Year's Eve. They flew high for almost 10 years when a fateful brawl put an end to their legend. There is a series of novels about them by Meredith H. Marble. They had published 10 books over the course of 7 years before the series faded out of public interest, as did the Chicken Police itself. The city of Clawville. Clawville's been an independent city-state for more than 900 years. During the city's foundation, 4 nations had joined forces, represented by the 4 animal figures and the 4 hands on the crest of Clawville. In reality, the tribal alliance of the reptiles and the great insect clans had also played an essential part in the city's founding, but they never got to be represented on the crest. This gave birth to a political and cultural antagonism between the species. Clawville preserved its political autonomy, and the dream that it's the only state in the wilderness where predator and prey of any race can live in peace. Hence the name, the City of 1,000 Colors. Cool. Okay, so we've got the cabinet there with the eye, so interaction.
I don't even know where the key is. Whatever's inside is gonna stay there forever. Just a bunch of useless crap in there. Just a bunch of useless crap in there.
Okay. Old books?
I'm never gonna read. Maybe nobody ever has. My wife took all the good ones. She knew they'd only gathered dust here. And she was right.
Okay. Phone. Pick up. What? Cool, man. No answer. Okay. Pile of papers?
I don't even know what these papers are. I need a secretary.
I love his voice.
I need a secretary.
Okay, so each one has about 2 lines of dialogue.
I promised myself I'd write a novel one day. I can't even remember the last time I used this.
It's over here. Light switch? Ah, okay. Turn it off though for the effect. Bedroom door?
Behind that door lies the kingdom of dirty clothes, cigarette butts, and empty bottles.
Okay.
My bedroom. Sort of.
Anything here? The wilderness.
I wanted to travel the world when I was a kid, but I think I'm gonna end up dead in here whether I like it or not. Maybe in another lifetime, old bird.
I love this. This is cool. Ooh, drawer. Ah, here we go.
She doesn't seem so dangerous
My magnum?
that I need to grab my gun, but you never know.
New function, inventory. Okay. New item. My last cigarette.
My last cigarette. You're lucky I don't have a light, pal.
I love that piano
My
thing.
wallet and my badge. The wallet is real. The badge ain't. Chief Bloodboil took mine.
Blood boil.
So I got this one out of a pack of cornflakes. Just in case.
Okay. Ah, so we have an inventory now in the top hand corner of the screen. Click on
I haven't
that.
dusted you off in a while, partner. Looks like I may be needing you now.
Okay. Ah, change selection L1 R1. Okay.
Ironic, but ever since I've been on furlough, with only my fake badge sitting in my cabinet, I feel more like a cop than I ever had before. More like a Clawville cop, anyway.
Clawville. Cigarette.
Oh man, I totally get you. Oh man, I
Okay.
totally get you.
Nice. So that's like a pictures. I think that's everything. What's that? The Wild Gentleman.
The Wild Gentleman. Those guys rebuilt the city after the Great Fire of 867.
867.
My heroes when I was a little chick. I'm starting to think they should have left Clawville as it was, burned to the ground. If only I were half as gutsy as these guys. Maybe in another life, in another story. We used to be star cops a few years ago. Tabloid press, radio interviews, and even a book series. I don't miss those days. Of course, Marty, my old partner, would disagree. He just loved the spotlight. God damn, what an embarrassing headline.
Right, so this is like telling us his backstory. Cool. A painful memory?
This is... uh, this is one of the most beautiful memories from my old life. Before Molly left me and took
Molly.
my daughter.
Right, so he was married and got divorced and lost the daughter in the separation.
Molly, where do you live now? And with whom?
So it looks like Molly was a pigeon. Interesting. Good
The
times.
good things in life don't last long.
They don't.
The best ones always leave first.
They do.
I saw that in the window of a shoe store. I never understood it. Or what it had to do with shoes.
I love that sort of Tom Waitian voice he has. It's great.
It seems like a different life. Oh, my God. I'm becoming a sappy little chick.
M.B. Davies.
M.B. Davis, the eternal
Davis.
king of jazz. The photo is from the days of jazz prohibition. I only heard the old man live one time, but I'll never forget that night. And not only because I woke up at the harbor without my gun, my badge, and my pants.
His voice is great.
He was a genius. Some say he's now a recluse, living on the outskirts of the city. But others say he's in an insane asylum after he chewed his own leg off.
That touch of surrealism. Brilliant. Okay, is that everything? Cabinet, pictures, phone, old books, anything else? Oh, the city.
I don't see colors anymore. Only emptiness. Everything faded. I need another drink. Maybe I'm just old. And while I'm clucking about nothing ever changing, everything changes. You've gone out of style, old bird. Accept it and move on.
War never changes. Oh, cheap whiskey. Okay.
Every whiskey has the same color nowadays. At least in this price range. Murky brown swill. I should improve my standards.
Typewriter we've seen. Pile of papers, phone. Drawer. Pictures. Yep, we've seen everything. So let's see what... Look. Oh.
Legs that go on for days. Deep, dark eyes. Silky skin and voice. You're in big trouble, pal. Legs that go on
okay.
for...
Let me introduce myself.
Nice.
My name is Deborah. Miss Deborah Ibanez.
You're mistaken, ma'am.
Okay.
Oh, really? Please enlighten me, Mr. Featherland.
I'm not a private eye. I'd recommend Mr. Philmar Lowe instead of me. He's a nice guy.
Right, okay.
Believe me, Mr. Featherland, it's not an accident I came to you.
Look, miss, I work for the police, and I'm currently on leave. I couldn't accept private commissions even if I wanted to. Not even from a classy dame like you.
Am I that easy to read?
That's my job. But tell me, since you've invited yourself in, would you like a drink?
I don't usually drink.
Well, I've got to have one. And it'd be rude of me to drink alone. So, maybe some sherry?
If you insist. But bourbon, please.
Cool. Got all that stuff to look at in the codex. Cheers. Okay, do I have... Alright, we've got some things in the codex to read. Deborah. Name, Deborah Ibanez. Species, Impala. Epicurious melampus. Gender, female. Special feature, pretty and fragile, nothing too special. Personal infos. She runs errands for her employer, a sophisticated lady, but I don't think she's from a particularly wealthy or influential family. Okay. Codex. The Wild Ones. 3 gods are revered in most places across the wilderness. They're the Great Wild Ones, who make up the holy trinity of creation, destruction, and silence. Hariti, the goddess of creation, Patipi is the lord of destruction, and Nukvatiti is the genderless ghost of silence and nothingness, keeping the balance between creation and destruction in their never-ending conflict. Okay. Talk to Deborah again.
That's better. Now, if I understand correctly, your mistress is receiving threats. What kind of threats exactly?
It's a very strange matter. First, there were letters. Then it came printed on a wine bottle's label, sent as a gift. Then carved into a brick, thrown through the window. And finally, they painted it on the wall of the house in giant red letters.
I think it's time to dig a little deeper.
Paint it red.
If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some routine questions.
Please, that's why I'm here.
New function, questioning. Okay. Clues. The victim, a lady, is the target of some strange threats. All of them are written. Oh.
So, this is the part where the interrogation comes.
Ooh.
Like in those detective movies.
Something like that, Deborah. Yes.
Okay. Right, so... Oh,
Something like that.
I saw the badge symbol at the bottom. Okay. Focus on what you know about the Focus on what you know about the suspect. Is he or she suspicious? Concentrate on that. Okay. He is suspicious. I am suspicious. Why are you suspicious? Gather impressions from the suspect. Every impression adds a new question line. Impressions. Question 1. So many options. Okay. Impressions. Suspicious. Blah blah blah. I like that. Plus 100. Okay.
I must be cautious and smart. This dame seems shy, which I can use to my advantage. But I must be careful about what I say to her, or I could scare her off. Let's start gently, and when the time comes, we can go in hard.
Okay. I must be cautious. Okay, that's what you just said. So, who exactly are you, ma'am?
Who exactly are you, ma'am?
I'm not somebody important, Mr. Featherland.
You're important enough to deal with such a delicate matter, right?
I carry out the wishes of my employer, nothing more. This means simple paperwork, most of the time.
You've been thrown into deep water, sweetheart. Tell me, can you even swim?
Believe me, this is just as unpleasant for me as it is for you, if not even more.
Okay. Alright, so the question mark, the pencil around the question mark, so, doubtful. So, my detective meter's gone up slightly, so this is doubtful. Tell me, which part of the city do you live in? Calvary Hills? Flowerville, maybe?
Tell me, which part of the city do you live in? Calavera Hills? Flowerville, maybe?
Look, I don't want to answer that. I'm here on behalf of my employer, and not on personal business.
Fair point, Deborah. Let's try a different approach.
Okay. Stop playing the frightened prey, Sunshine, and start singing. No. Why do you have to visit me on this particular evening?
Why did you have to visit me this particular evening?
I have my reasons. I may look like a silly little fawn, and maybe I am, but I still have common sense.
I don't doubt that for a second, Miss Ibanez.
Okay.
This day is essential to my mistress, and she thought it's also important to you.
A message in itself, for sure. But to be honest, even you are.
You know what? I'll just take that as a compliment, even if it wasn't meant as such.
New impression, frightened. Were you born and raised in Clawville?
Were you born and raised in Clawville?
Why do you ask?
I couldn't think of anything better.
Well, I'm not from around here. I'm from Grassmore. Maybe you could hear I have a slight accent. Do you know where it is?
Where what is?
Where what is?
Of course. You just asked.
Oh, that. Don't worry about it. I'm not interested.
Huh. Do you like to play with other animals?
Oh, for the wild ones. Am I that transparent?
I'm afraid so.
Well, I'm a little rusty, it seems. Let's change the subject, shall we?
Okay, so that wasn't a good question to ask. It's gone down. Why did you come to visit me? Why not your employee herself?
Why did you come to visit me?
Employer.
Why not your employer herself?
My employer is Miss Natasha Katsenko. She hasn't been leaving her home lately, only if she really has to.
How so?
Miss Natasha is afraid. She's scared because of those unwanted messages, and everyone knows who she is.
So she's that kind of woman.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you do, Deborah. Thank you, by the way. We're finally getting somewhere. We avoided
Nice.
the point long enough. Deborah's hiding something, no question. Let's focus on that.
It's got such a tiny head. Okay. What exactly did you expect by coming here to meet me?
What exactly did you expect by coming here to meet me?
I expected your help, just like my mistress said.
Was that the right
Oh,
question to
very
ask?
nice.
I don't know.
But have you seen this neighborhood? Have you seen this wreck called a hotel? Who were you hoping to find in a place like this?
Someone reliable
Well, I am reliable.
and discreet
That's right.
and thorough
No question about that.
and has a heart of gold.
Okay, let's stop it right there.
Do you think you're cut out for this kind
Do
of
you
work?
think you're cut out for this kind of work?
Not in the slightest.
Then why all of this?
I just can't say no to Natasha.
Would she hurt you if you did?
No, of course not. She's my friend.
I see.
Damn. Don't you think this whole thing is a little suspicious?
Don't you think this whole thing is a little
not doing very well.
suspicious?
Look, Santino, I'll explain everything.
I have no doubt about that. You look just the type, sweetheart. No offense.
Sweetheart.
I'll take that as a compliment. Or maybe I'll act like I haven't heard it.
You see,
Right.
we're starting to understand each other.
Tell me, Deborah, why should I believe you at all?
Tell me, Deborah, why should I believe you at all?
Because my mistress trusts you.
Should that be enough?
If you really like what she thinks you are, then yes.
Damn, what can I say to that?
Look, I didn't mean to back you up against the wall.
You have a way with words, sweetheart. Did you ever want to be a cop?
No, not for the world.
Heh, smart answer.
Be honest, and tell me what are you so afraid
Be
of.
honest and tell me what you're so afraid of.
You know, Mr. Featherland, my mistress's partner is Hobart Wessler. Or as most people know him.
Yep.
Exactly.
Oh, whoops. Whoops.
Feathery gods, help me.
Sorry.
So you get it now. The secrecy.
To put it mildly, I think I understand it all. Wessler. This little piece of the puzzle changes everything.
Focus accuracy 90%. The employer, Natasha's current significant other, is the infamous gangster Ivan Wessler. Final thoughts. The legendary chicken police back in action. Still a bit weary but untarnished. Good work. Oh, I've got an option to retry. That's cool. Okay. So I've got 8 new clues to investigate. The mysterious messenger, Miss Deborah Ibanez's employer, is a certain Miss Natasha Gatsenko. The employer, Natasha's current significant other, is the infamous gangster Ivan Wessler. People. She runs errands for her employer as okay, I've seen that one. There's a new one. She's afraid, and she's secretive. Or she's just secretive and an outstanding actress. In any case, not everything she told me is true. I'm pretty sure about that. Her employer currently bolsters the ranks of Ivan Wessler. To put it mildly, this explains the cloud of fear surrounding Miss Ibanez. Name, Natasha Katsenko. Species cat, Felis catus. Gender, female. Special features, she has remarkably green eyes, and she is definitely in trouble. So am I. She is the employer of Miss Deborah Ibanez. Allegedly, she is receiving serious threats. Currently, the girlfriend of the notorious gangster Ivan Wessler. This explains a lot of the things, mainly the excessive secrecy. Hobart Ivan Wessler. Species rat, rattus. Special feature, good-looking, charismatic, and a clucking gangster. One of the most well-known gangsters of Clawville, real estate mogul, bank director, museum owner, distiller, smuggler, and information broker. And that's only the half of what I've heard about him. He has his dirty little paws everywhere in the city's underworld. Places? Nothing there. Codex? Grassmore. Grassmore is a savanna country that had been one of the colonies of Clawville for 2 centuries, before gaining its freedom in 1792. Grassmore is mostly inhabited by peaceful, herbivore animals of exotic species. Okay, that's everything. So, do I talk to Deborah again?
Why don't you take it to the police? Just go there and file a report. Photos, flashing lights, fingerprints, you know the drill. The evidence is very clear. Even a moderately talented detective could easily wrap this case up. Or just try the phone. 555-111.
Please.
Okay.
Take a look at this.
Well, okay. Let's see.
New item. SAR Club. I know Molly very well. Please note this when deciding whether or not to accept my assignment. Miss Ibanez is a trusted friend. Treat her as a gentleman. N.
I know Molly very well. Please note this when deciding whether or not to accept my assignment.
Still learning.
Miss Ibanez is a trusted friend. Treat her as gentleman. N.
Okay.
I felt like I'd been hit on the back of my head with a blackjack. Reality tilted. Molly. Good
Molly.
gods. What was her name doing there? I glanced at the opposite wall with the well-worn picture frames. Like an eternally dark hole in the wall. A missing piece. She was wearing a light silk dress and singing a lullaby. The waves caressing her beautiful long legs. Why Molly? Why now?
Falling in love again? God, he's taken it back, so was I.
Santino, are you alright?
What the hell is this supposed to mean?
I don't know anything, Mr. Santino. My mistress told me to give this to you. She said you'd understand. Don't you?
Oh, of course I understand, Miss Ibanez. I get it very well. But this case is becoming more and more confusing. It's starting to look like blackmail.
Blackmail?
Don't play innocent with me.
But
All right. When can I visit?
visit me?
Not you. Miss Katsenko.
Oh, yes. You can find her at the Tsar Club.
Okay.
Didn't you tell me she's not the social kind? That she's especially unsociable? Or does she only like loud and crowded clubs?
No, she's really not like that. But she owns the place.
Okay.
Judging by the flyer, it must be a very busy club, especially on New Year's Eve, right?
I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding Miss Katsenko. But there's one small problem, Mr. Featherland.
Let
Okay.
me guess. Mr. Wessler better not know about my visit.
Exactly. How did you know?
20 years experience, ma'am. Oh, and please, call me Sonny.
It
All
was
right.
a pleasure to meet you, Sonny.
I'll talk about the rest with Ms. Katsenko in person. A good friend of mine would be happy to take you home if you'd like.
I'd appreciate that, Sonny.
So much lore. Okay. Right. I think I will call it here, guys, and we'll continue this tomorrow. I'm enjoying it so far, but I don't want to make it too long. And we'll continue this tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and have a good rest of your Friday night. Good night.